This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Show, BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well. We're live in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. We're on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, on the BamaCentral Facebook page. You can call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. We're proudly presented by Purple Turtle Roofing. You can call Purple Turtle Roofing for all of your roofing needs at 877-787-6635. They'll come out and give you a free roof inspection. Let them know that the Joe Gaither Show sent you. We're going to have a lot of fun today, as we said, on the BamaCentral Facebook page, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll have a lot of fun with you. Subscribe, rate, review, share the show. Find us on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. We're going to talk about a lot of different things today. Yesterday, busy day in the Alabama athletics sphere. Coach Kalen DeBoer talking down at the Senior Bowl, talking about the new offensive line coach, talking about the offensive line transfers, talking about the defensive line transfers, got into a lot of interesting things. Alabama football got some good news with a medical redshirt coming through for one Jah-Marien Latham. So we'll talk about Jah-Marien Latham. Pickens County Tornado getting his 7th year at a very, very big position of need, a position that Alabama needed to get some security in. The Crimson Tide did just that yesterday. We'll talk about Jah-Marien Latham. We'll talk about Charles Bediako's judge being recused or recusing himself, being reassigned. We'll talk about a lot of things. We'll talk about Amari Allen a little bit more. Yesterday I gave I called it mild salsa, but Hunter thought it was a little spicier when I got home. Hunter DeCiver, you can follow him at Hunter DeCiver on the Twitter machine, wrote a lot of things for BamaCentral.com yesterday. So we will talk about Amari Allen with Theo Fernandez, and on the voicemail line, we're going to have a lot of fun today with Theo Fernandez. Follow him at Theo Fernandez __ on the Twitter machine. What's up, Keith Connell? He said he checks in on the YouTube machine. You can as well. Just leave us comments right there. You can interact with us and with Keith and with everybody else who's watching us on the YouTube machine, on the Twitter machine, on the Facebook machine. We appreciate you. Theo Fernandez. I like the camo New York Giants hat today. How we doing?
Well, first of all, I need to start this show by saying I'm wearing this hat in solidarity with Eli Manning, who for some reason was left out of the NFL Hall of Fame for the 2nd straight year. Just absolutely inexcusable. I mean, this guy beat Tom Brady twice. He led the Giants to an just incredible run. He's top 10 in passing yards, in passing touchdowns.
It's that derpy face, man. That's why they left him out.
Eli Manning not being in the Hall of Fame is a travesty.
It certainly sounds like the Hall of Fame is a lot of backroom dealings, a lot of politics as they're leaving Bill Belichick off the first ballot as well.
You want to leave Bill Belichick out? Sure, whatever.
What?
The guy who beat him twice needs to get in. Eli Manning needs to be in the NFL Hall of Fame.
People, it's right, the Bill Belichick, because he deserves punishment for all this, that, and the other. It's like, brother, he won 8 Super Bowls. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I guess 10 sports writers or 10 voters didn't agree. So 40 of the 50 agreed, and the other 10 kept him out.
You think? I honestly thought a part of it was maybe the guy is still actively coaching in college and maybe anticipating, he could come back to the NFL. Well,
he will now, so he can reset and get a new 5-year window and become a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't know. I mean, it is crazy that he didn't get inducted, but he's a Hall of Famer. Eli's a Hall of Famer, and I'm very, very, very upset that Eli Manning has not been inducted.
Well, everyone can't be a Hall of Famer. I mean, look at all the quarterbacks.
Everyone doesn't need to be a Hall of Famer. If you want to leave like Phillip Rivers out, go ahead.
Just don't leave out Eli Manning.
The guy who you cannot tell the story of the NFL without Eli Manning.
Well, you can't tell it without Phillip Rivers either.
Yes, you can.
I mean,
what are we going to remember about Phillip Rivers in 20 years?
That he didn't like to say any curse words.
Like it's all that's anecdotal.
That he talked all kinds of trash without
Eli
saying curse
Manning
words.
Came in and took down the greatest dynasty that we've seen in its prime.
That Phillip Rivers was shot putting the football.
Phillip Rivers did nothing in the grand scheme of things
Well,
that is going to leave a crazy, long-lasting legacy. And I'm sorry, I like Phillip Rivers a lot. But when you look at legacy and you look at the stuff that's going to be remembered, Eli Manning gave us 2 of the greatest runs any quarterback will ever have. You cannot talk about the NFL in the 2000s, in the 2010s, and leave out Eli Manning.
Phillip Rivers is 8th all time in career passing yards.
Eli's like 10th.
Right. Well, Phillip is ahead of him.
And he doesn't have the Super Bowls.
That's fair. I'm just saying that you can't put everyone in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and a guy like Phillip Rivers, like if that's the guy you leave out. Eli Manning, he's done everything. He's done a little bit of everything, right? He has was the compiler as far as stats go, right? He added those all up. He has the 3rd longest streak of a QB ever in terms of amount of starts, right, in a row. This guy was never injured. It only ended because we decided to bench him for Geno Smith because Ben McAdoo needed to save his job. Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry to start us off with a tangent, but
well, I think he is a Hall of Famer as well. But is it a tragedy?
It's a disgrace to the NFL. It's shameful that he has not been inducted in 2 years.
Terrible, shameful. Shame on everyone, on all the voters.
Yes.
Great. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with football? We'll stay with football.
I think Latham's the...
Can we reset? Can we reset a little bit? Take a deep breath. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. In through the nose. It's Thursday. It's a great day.
It is.
It's not cold outside today. It's perfect, right?
It is beautiful weather out.
Right. You got a good weekend ahead, don't you? Right. Royal Rumble on Saturday. Alabama basketball on Sunday. It's gonna be great.
That's some fun stuff.
No football. No football. All right, we're resetting.
Reset.
All right, great. Yesterday, Alabama football got great news when Jah-Marien Latham was granted his 7th year of eligibility. And this is big news for Alabama football. I believe it's big news for Alabama football. And you can say, well, Jah-Marien Latham, he hasn't really been a hugely impactful player here at Alabama so far. He's, been playing Wolf, been playing Bandit, been playing every position known to man on this Alabama defense. Played for Coach Saban. Now he's played for Kane Womack and Kalen DeBoer. Jah-Marien Latham earns his 7th year of eligibility because of a medical red shirt that he received from last year's season. Last year, only appearing in one game, right? It was just the one game. Had a neck injury here at practice and sat out the rest of the season. In that one game, he had 2 tackles, so that's great.
But he left that game with an injury too, right? Florida State.
He may have, but he hurt his neck in practice. He hurt his neck in practice. We were going to a press conference, and everybody got basically shuffled into off to the side because they were trying to hide the fact that an ambulance was coming to pick him up. And thankfully all that worked out. He's played in 45 games for Alabama with 26 total tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks, 1 pass defended, one fumble recovery. But I think this move is really, really important for the Alabama defense because of what has gone on in the Bandit room this season. Jah-Marien Latham was kind of a defensive end type, then was a Wolf in Kane Womack's system, then was a Wolf and a Bandit, doing both, and now has basically transitioned to full-time Bandit. And if you're following everything that's happened over the season, well, you lost LT Overton to eligibility, Keon Keeley transferred to Notre Dame, Kelby Collins transfers to South Carolina, and Jordan Renaud transfers. Where did Jordan transfer? Did he go to Texas Tech, Texas A&M? Where did Jordan Renaud end up at? Jordan.
Someone went to A&M.
Where did he end up transferring to? He ended up transferring to Ole Miss. He went to Ole Miss, didn't he? Yes. He went to Ole Miss. So you lost basically all of your Bandits. Yeah, thank you. Renaud commits to Ole Miss. You lost basically all of your Bandits from last season. Here we go. Keith Connell, if I were building a team, it wouldn't be with Eli Manning.
That's why you're not building the team, Keith. Eli Manning would win you 2 Super Bowls and never miss a game and be there and be the best leader of a franchise. And let's get back to
leader of men. Leader of men. Yeah, right. Eli Manning. I think this is big for Alabama because Jah-Marien Latham gives you experience in a position room that really had no experience. You're bringing in Devin Tompkins, who I don't think is quite a bandit. You're bringing in Caleb Wilson, who I don't really know if he's going to be available. I mean, he's going to be available, but I don't really know if he's going to be impactful. Transfer from Washington. You bring in a lot of freshmen. Kamarian Johnson, who I don't know if he's quite a bandit type or not. Jamarian Matthews, I think, is a bandit type from Georgia, high school teammates with Xavier Griffin. I do think he is a bandit type, but you don't want to really rely on a true freshman. You are looking at Fatutua Henry, who got basically no playing time last year. JUCO, who transferred in, is a bandit, got basically no playing time last year, but he was probably your first one up. You now have at least Jah-Marien Latham and Fatutua Henry in the bandit room for the Crimson Tide, and I think you're feeling better about the situation based on the fact that you're bringing back somebody that's so experienced. I mean, Jah-Marien Latham is still the last player or the only player that's on this roster that has won a national championship with Alabama. 2020 national champion for Alabama in that COVID season, the Pickens County Tornado. Local product, 20 minutes down the road?
A little more than 20, but yeah, right on the border at Mississippi.
And so he is back for his 7th year. What do you make of this deal? Is it as big a deal as I think? I think this is a big deal. 10 being the biggest. I think this is a 7.5.
I completely agree with that rating. I mean, this is a guy who, he was starting in 2024, right? I mean, he was playing significant snaps. He went crazy. I remember in that South Carolina game was probably one of our most impactful players. I don't have the exact stats, but I remember him getting a sack there. I think this is a guy we can reasonably expect to play very, very meaningful snaps, who will bring just great leadership to the team. Is, like you said, only player with the ring, which Alabama has not been able to say that about their roster in a very long time. And I do think that this is a very significant pickup for the Tide.
Right. Somebody that maybe you were writing off, or maybe you thought weren't going to get the seventh year. But I think that gives you, I mean, there's not much more to say about it other than gives you the experience that you did not have that was leaving the bandit room. A lot of freshmen, a lot of unknown prospects. I think that you're still probably cautious with a player coming off a neck injury, but I would imagine that he's not getting cleared if it's not fully ready to go and fully safe. And so I have confidence in the medical staff. I have confidence in Jah-Marien Latham coming back and being at least the old man leader in the bandit room.
Right. Even if hypothetically the on-field stuff just wasn't there, right? Even if, he's not making a huge impact on the field, which I think he will, the leadership will be such a big factor for this defense.
All right, so Alabama football getting big news. Let's flip to Keith. Keith's got one more comment for you, and this was news. Golly, Hunter was so busy yesterday. Hunter wrote so many different things. Theo, what do you think about the Caden Samuels kid that committed to the basketball team? Did you, if you didn't see it yesterday, Alabama got 5-star Caden Samuels, small forward type, top 30 prospect in the class, top 25 prospect in the class. Depends on what you were looking at, but essentially, is 5-star player, small forward, has committed to Alabama for the class of 2026, and now you've got 2 players in the class of 2026. Caden Samuels commits to Nate Oates yesterday.
No, it is a massive pickup. He I saw a stat: 98th percentile pick and roll efficiency. Just such a great. I mean, he's a shot maker. He's a bucket getter. He's a walking bucket. To continue with all those cliches. I mean, I really love this guy. From, I admittedly was not super high on, I don't follow basketball recruiting all that well usually, but then as soon as he committed, I just started watching his tape, and NATO's got a good one, man. He is. And not to jinx things, but I do believe he will be followed by another very, very highly touted player in the coming period. And Alabama already bringing in now a top 10 recruiting class with these 2 players that they've got. Caleb Holt would realistically give Alabama a top 2 recruiting class in the country.
Yeah, I'm still really not going all the way in on Caleb Holt because I'm worried about the money factor.
I think, Caleb.
You just give Caleb Holt all of LeBaron Philon's money?
That's a guy you have. Well, there'll be no LeBaron Philon money.
That's what I'm saying. All the money you're giving to LeBaron this year, you just transfer it. Absolutely. Hey, next year, that's Caleb Holt money.
Yes, it is. I am that high on Caleb Holt, too. But I really, really, really think that Samuels is going to come in. And you look at the impact that a guy like Amari Allen is making this year as a freshman. Samuels will be better right off the bat. You look at
6'5", 210 out of Bishop McNamara in Fortsville, Maryland.
He will have one of the best. I say one of the best because no one's going to have like a Brandon Ingram season for a long time. But Brandon Miller, I'm sorry, I don't know where Brandon Ingram came from. But I think that Samuels will have one of the best Alabama freshman seasons that we've seen. This guy is just he is a clear-cut one and done to me when I look at the ability he has to score. And you plug that guy into the NATO system. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about in a few when we really go into Amari Allen and the pro comps and stuff. But the effects that playing in NATO system has on a freshman, especially when you take one like Samuels, who has just this natural knack for just making shots.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at
going to by the end of the he's going to be by the end of the season in the mix for this is one of the top 5 freshmen in the country.
Ooh, I like that. Watching this AAU film, so the play is a little disorganized, but he's making shots like from literally everywhere.
Yeah,
he's making it from the 3-point line. He's hitting it from the mid range, right at the free throw line. He's driving to the rim. Really good slasher, wing player. Now I don't really put a lot of stock in the defense that he's going up against right here in these AAU tournaments, but it is a highlight film, and there he is catching an alley-oop, really making some nice athletic plays, looking like a long wing for NATO. It's at 6'5", looking like a long 2 or a 3 to me.
Beautiful step back too. Like you look at his
quick release, nice and quick release. He doesn't have the Taylor Bobo and set shot release, shot put. Shot put release that he's got. We'll see how he fits in. So he joins Terrace Bowie, right? Terrace Bowie. He joins Terrace Bowie out of Geneva, Ohio. The two of them. So you've got two 4 or 5 star players. Bowie a 4-star. Caden Samuels, depends on where you look, 4 or 5 star. On 24/7 Sports, they've got him rated as the 18th overall player in the class, the number 6 player at his position. They've got Caden Samuels listed as a shooting guard. He's going to be a little bit shorter than Terrace Bowie at 6'6", and so Samuel's at 6'5". I think you've got 2 really nice players in this class. You got to hold on to him. You got to sign Caden Samuels, and you've got to add to the class with one more, maybe Caleb Holt. I am hesitant to really get sold on Caleb Holt because I think he's probably going to end up at a Kentucky, at a Duke, at a North Carolina, at a place that's going to throw a lot of money at him.
To end this, I just really, really want to thank Ed Cooley and the Georgetown basketball program for completely falling apart and continuing to just not know how to operate as a basketball program and throw water bottles at people, because from everything that I gather, Samuels, he's from the DMV, he really wanted to go to Georgetown. And just Alabama, obviously you come in with the money in, but he wanted to stay home. And I think the Hoyas made the decision basically impossible to make with their play down the stretch this year and just the way that program has deteriorated. But yeah, Keith, you're right. Holt is crystal balled, and I still believe that Alabama will land him. I think that when you look at this program and you look at having a guy that good right in your backyard for all those years, and I know he's playing over in Georgia now, like, you got to bring that guy home.
Oh, yeah.
That is a
This is a J.D. Davison type. You got to land
Yeah.
him. He's much better than J.D. in my opinion, much more suited for the NATO system than J.D. was. But this is a J.D. Davison type. Wasn't Kyra from Alabama as well? I know that LeBaron is down from Mobile, so you've got to get these guys that are really, really, have their roots in the state. Caleb Holt from the Huntsville area. You've got to secure the guys, in my opinion, that are from the state. And so I think that. No, Kyra's not. He's from North Carolina. Is he not?
He was North Carolina sounds right. I'm looking it up right now.
You're slower than me. He's from Meridianville, Alabama.
You are.
Hazel Green High School. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So he was from Alabama as well. I'm glad I threw that out there. So yeah, big to get Caleb Holt if you can.
Regardless, I mean, look, the class will be very, very good with or without Caleb Holt. But that turns it from good to special to this is going to be the best freshman class in the country and has at least 2 players who are going to be just absolute ballers from day one. Probably 3. Man, Alabama, if they get Caleb Holt, it is going to be Oates' best class, I think.
All right, so let's transition. Well, that's a pretty big statement right there. Best class, the Brandon Miller class was pretty good. Brandon Miller, Noah Clowney class was pretty daggum good right there. So we'll see if they're better than that. Let's use this as a nice little jumping point to go back to yesterday's conversation. Because yesterday I was talking about Amari Allen and we were talking about him being out and being really missed over the last 2 games, and hopefully you're going to get him back for Sunday's game against Florida. I was looking at his height and weight. I was looking at the way he plays. I was looking at some of his numbers and his size and his positioning. I compared to Grant Hill. Freshman Grant Hill at Duke. Now, obviously, Grant Hill went on to be extremely successful in the NBA and is a Hall of Famer and won 2 national titles at Duke. So obviously, really, really successful player. And Theo didn't really appreciate or like or agree. I don't want to put those words in your mouth. I don't think that Theo thought that the comparison was very strong or very good. Theo, you've been sitting on it for 24 hours, and I know Hunter Brantley has a voicemail, and you can call the voicemail machine at 205-462-7340, extension 800, if you want to be a part of the program. I know Hunter has a voicemail comparing Amari Allen to someone as well. I read the transcript, so I know who he's comparing to. What do you think here after 24 hours? How do you compare Amari Allen?
First of all, I didn't quite come up with the words yesterday on the Grant Hill tape.
It's okay.
Grant Hill, from day one, was a physically dominant basketball player. He was an unreal athlete. I mean, get it. Father played in the NFL, right? Running back for the Cowboys. He was a just threat to take it coast to coast every single possession. He was jumping over guys. He was an athletic freak. And that's why he came into the NBA as one of the just best young 2-way players in the league. Like, people talk about him as LeBron before LeBron. That's what you hear the discourse about Grant Hill be. This is a guy who's a 7-time All-Star, clear-cut Hall of Famer, even with suffering just an awful injury that nearly derailed his career. And it changed the way he had to play in the NBA. But from day one, Grant Hill, from the time he set foot in Durham, clearly looked like a future number 1 option in the NBA. He's a guy that, and obviously it's overshadowed by Christian Laettner, by having the best college player of all time right next to you. But he was still a guy that defenses build their entire plan around. I don't think that Amari Allen is that guy. Not in a bad way. I just think that Grant Hill is a Hall of Fame archetype. He is a top 0.5% comparison right there. So Amari Allen, I think, can be a very nice NBA player. He's not Grant Hill. As far as who he actually can be, I've been looking and I've got a couple comps that I like. First one I'm going to go is Robert Covington, a guy who Averaged 15 a game in his prime. He was an all-defensive first-team selection. And it's not the perfect comp. Stylistically, I would say that Amari Allen's already a much better shot creator. He's got a slightly better ability to find open teammates, court vision. But as far as roles that they could play on an NBA team, I like that. I also like Kyle Anderson a lot. I think that he's someone who's gotten paid a lot of money to play basketball, right? And I know these are names that kind of sound a little underwhelming, but I think as far as comparisons, it's hard to.
Well, at least Kyle Anderson was drafted.
Yeah, Covington's a little bit of an off one because I'm saying as far as the player and role that he turned into in the NBA, right? Because Amari Allen will obviously be drafted.
Well, I'm just comparing him right now to freshman Grant Hill.
And the freshman Grant Hill comparison still falls apart because of all those things I outlined.
Grant Hill's first NCAA tournament game. I pulled up game logs. They've only got NCAA tournament games. Okay. Yeah, as a freshman, scored 9 points and 5 rebounds. Amari's doing that for coming up first round. 9 and 5. That's not overwhelming. He did next round 14 and 9. Better, really better. Then round of Sweet 16, 3 points, 5 rebounds against UConn. They won, obviously. 12 points, 2 rebounds in the Elite Eight against St. John's. 11 points, 5 rebounds against UNLV in the Final Four, and then in the finals against Kansas, 10 points, 8 rebounds.
Yeah, and that's because
Amari's got 10 and 8 in him.
You can't just take stats and turn it into this is who the guy is. You watch. I hate Christian Laettner. You watch the old Duke basketball clips. Grant Hill is not Amari Allen.
Amari's leading this team in rebounding.
Grant Hill was doing it all out of being the best athlete on the floor every time he touched the floor. Is that who Amari Allen is? He's a good athlete. He's not a freak.
Where do you rank him on this team athletically? He's second. Question. He's third. LeBaron's really high up there, but Amari's got to be close. He can jump out of the gym. Is he more athletic than he's more athletic than Aiden Sherrill and Charles Bediako? Those two guys are longer and probably can jump higher, but quickness, strength, speed.
And let me just cut it right there because there was no debate about any of those teams that pre-injury Grant Hill was ever on. He was the best athlete in just about every game, college and NBA, that he ever suited up for. To make the comparison to a guy who, first of all, is a Hall of Famer. I keep trying to reiterate this point that Grant Hill.
But you're going way ahead of him in the career. We're looking at.
I'm looking at
first year.
Freshman year, Grant Hill. You can look at the stats and say, sure, they line up. On a Duke team that, first of all, they averaged. Actually, that's a lie. They probably did average pretty close to. I guess probably around 90 points a game now that I think about it with the way pace was on those early 90s team. But
yeah, 87.7.
Yeah, okay, that checks. So you can't really make that case, but
Laettner, Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill,
exactly,
Brian Davis, Antonio Lang, all NBA players.
Brian Davis was an incredible college player. Hurley was phenomenal. These are top tier. This is one of the best college teams of all time.
Certainly.
This is one of the best college teams. So for Grant Hill as a freshman to come in and average 11 is, quite frankly, a lot more impressive than Amari Allen doing it. It is at a time when freshmen were really just starting to even do stuff like this, right? We're a Fab Five era. We're in a time when freshmen weren't even seeing the court all that much. Grant Hill did it on a roster that is on the Mount Rushmores of all-time college teams. And on that team, going into, mean, that Duke UNLV national championship, right? Because I believe that was the matchup that 1991 season when he was a freshman.
I think that was the next season.
Was that the next season?
Yes.
Where they run them.
No, they played the Running
back-to-back.
Rebs in the Final Four. They beat them 79-77.
Yeah, and then the next year was when they ran them off the court, I believe, in the championship.
They played Michigan in the finals the next year and won.
Ah.
So they beat Kansas and Michigan.
Kansas, yeah, okay.
They beat Kansas 72-65 in the final, in the 91 final, and they beat Michigan 71-51 in the 92 final. They smoked them.
Yes, they did. Like, this is one of the best college teams we will ever see. I mean, my father still talks about them at least like 3 times a year.
So you're influenced now by your dad here.
I'm influenced by 30 years of basketball discourse that have told me that Grant Hill was an athletic specimen. I mean, Grant Hill could have played in the NFL. Grant Hill would have been a great athlete at whatever he chose to do. He was a generational, and I don't use that word lightly, generational player, generational athlete, and just a guy who was an alpha type player from day one. A guy who on this Duke team that, yeah, okay, you've got all these other incredible future NBA players. We've got this guy, Grant Hill, who he is going to be, without a doubt, leading things for us and leading things in the NBA over the next couple years.
You don't think Amari Allen could play tight end at 6'7", 205?
I don't think Amari Allen is that special of an athlete. That's okay. I think he's a good athlete.
He's leading the team in rebounding. A team that has a 6'11" player and a 7-footer.
And
2 7-footers now.
I'm not in any way saying that Amari Allen is an unathletic basketball player. I'm just saying that he's not a generational type athlete. He's not getting drafted for his athleticism. His athleticism.
You said yesterday that he might sneak into the lottery.
I believe that he could. And if that happens, it will be
why? Why would they draft him?
Because of his athleticism, but also because of what he does on a court. His vision is phenomenal. He understands boxing out. He understands positioning like very, very few 18-year-olds in the world do. His court vision, like I was watching a lot of his film yesterday. His ability to find a teammate and put the ball not where they are, but exactly where they're going to be, to anticipate the cuts. It is beautiful, man. He has a very underrated passing ability. We already know what a good rebounder he is. The athleticism, he is an NBA level athlete. Sure. I'm not denying this. And I feel it feels absurd to me that we've got to sit here and it sounds like I'm just bashing on Amari Allen, all because I refuse to compare him to an NBA Hall of Famer.
So instead, you compared him to 2 NBA like role players.
That is the way that you compare a player. You say, yeah, this is a guy who can play a very similar brand of basketball. And if you want a high level, you want a higher comp, sure. Give you Franz Wagner. I'll give you a guy who's one of the best young players in the league. Guy who's averaging, I actually don't know what his stats are this year, but was averaging around 20 a night and is just a big wing who's comfortable with handing the ball, who can score within the flow of a game without really taking over a possession, right? Because that's what we see Amari Allen do. He's able to play the game of basketball very efficiently without really messing up what Phylon or what the rest of this Alabama team tries to do offensively. And just Wagner,
just like Grant Hill did for Bobby Hurley.
Hill is the most nonsensical take. I don't get why we're
for Bobby Hurley and Christian Laettner.
Why we fit in? He didn't fit out. To die on this Grant Hill. I mean,
I'm right.
I'll give you the Franz Wagner camp.
Franz Wagner, that's nice. 24 points.
He's a very good player.
6 rebounds a game this year for the Orlando Magic.
It is still pretty ridiculous to try to just take these freshmen and compare them to the flashiest name. Like Kyle Anderson is a good player. to be compared to as a freshman in college. Kyle Anderson is a guy who comes in and instantly impacts a game and can be the difference between, yeah, we're going to be the 7 seed versus, you know what, we're hosting a playoff series in round 1. Amari Allen's not going to be, I don't think, a 20-point per game guy in the NBA for a while.
Kyle Anderson, 6.8 points per game throughout his NBA career. 6.8, 4.3 rebounds. He's getting more than 6 and 4 in the NBA when he gets up there and gets going.
That's all right. I think stylistically, I like the Kyle Anderson take. I like the just feeling like a guy who's a secondary playmaker on a team, right? Or even in whatever unit. Like if Amari Allen is drafted to a team with a bunch of just facilitators and offensive players, and he ends up on the second unit, I think he'll come in on that second unit and still play that same role where he is your number 2 offensive option and a guy who you know is going to make the right passes, make the right plays, rebound really, really well for his size. I almost wanted to, and I held off, but I guess I'll float it now. Like I almost wanted to make a Josh Hart comparison as far as the rebounding goes. Josh Hart is 6'4". Josh Hart is a lot smaller. But as far when you look at guys who are just rebounders at that level for their size, better than almost everyone at their height, that's the kind of thing Allen can do. Covington, Covington was a lot more firmly in the 3-and-D camp, where I think that Amari Allen can be a guy who drives and a guy who, is able to kick out.
But at least Covington averaged 10.8 and 5.5. So, that's probably, Amari, I don't think he's going to be averaging 20 points a game in the NBA.
No. I think that if he goes in and you go in and have a Kyle Anderson career, that is a very good NBA career. Kyle Anderson has impacted a lot of teams, and I think that Allen can be a better offensive player than that. But
10 years in the league for him, so that's great.
You told me Amari Allen was going to have a 10-year career. That's a success in almost every way.
Absolutely, but there's nothing so far right now that tells me he won't have a 10-year career.
He has a ceiling. Yeah, he has a high ceiling. But he also, he's doing all this in a place where he is absolutely tailored to succeed, right? He's doing all this on this Alabama team where everything is set up for him, and he's getting all the rebounds, doing all those things right, sure. Alabama has rebounding problems. There are a lot of rebounds to be grabbed. Also, Alabama plays at this crazy fast pace where he's not.
But let's not act like Nate's just sitting there drawing up plays for Amari Allen.
No. Let's also not sit there like whatever NBA team he's going to end up on is going to do the same either.
Okay, so
you don't build your game plan.
He's got 11 and a half points per game this year on a team that's not drawing up plays for him.
Yeah, and that's not bad at all. I'm just saying that is not going to change anytime soon.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think that if he stays in college, if it was 1990 and he stayed in college for 4 years, they would be drawing up plays for him in his junior and senior year.
Sure.
But he's not going to do that because the times have changed.
Right.
But that's exactly what happened with Grant Hill. We're not drawing up plays for you. We're drawing up plays for Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley to do their thing.
I think the point that is being missed by you is that if an NBA team can draft a guy and they see we're going to get a Kyle Anderson or Robert Covington type production from him, where you're taking him in the lottery. I think we forget that most of these NBA draft picks are not good. The NBA draft sucks.
It's turned into horror.
So bad. Like the players, especially with the just flow of guys from overseas too. It's such a shot in the dark sometimes. And for Amari Allen, a guy who I think has proven that he is a relatively safe option, not that he doesn't have a high ceiling, but the floor is also pretty high as well. you're absolutely taking a guy like that in the lottery. As a freshman, too, where you can still talk yourself into, yeah, maybe he'll turn into a crazy good NBA player. I'm in no way bashing Amari Allen as an NBA draft prospect. Grant Hill is just ridiculous, though. It's absurd. It is
same height and weight,
outlandish.
Same position. Amari can guard 1 through 4, 1 through 3 at least. Well, 1 through 4 probably.
He's not guarding 1 through 4 in the NBA.
Well, no, but
Grant Hill was. Grant Hill was guarding any player on that floor, not a center, but Grant Hill was guarding 1 to 4.
See, where you're getting messed up is getting ahead of freshman Grant Hill.
But freshman Grant Hill displayed everything that NBA Grant Hill did. Freshman Grant Hill had all of the same athleticism. He developed naturally, but his ceiling was, I'd say Amari Allen has a high ceiling. Yeah. Grant Hill's ceiling broke through every, I don't even know the word for it, but it was one of the highest ceilings we'd seen up to that point. We're talking about Grant Hill, I believe, as a top 10 player of all time if he never gets injured. He still is a Hall of Famer. You don't just take the best possible player at a guy's height and weight and say this is his comp.
Except for the fact that he's having better numbers than Grant did at the time
you
of the comparison.
You don't take a guy's numbers and say this is who he's going to be because stylistically
and he's relied
it doesn't
on.
make sense.
He's relied on in a very similar role on this team.
Stylistically, it does not make sense.
Yes, it does.
2026 Alabama is not 1991 Duke. Come on.
He's relied on in the very similar way. Now, is the team more as successful as that team? No, they're not. And I'm not trying to even pigeonhole that in there. But Amari Allen's the 3rd, 4th option on this team. I mean, you're going LeBaron, you're going Aiden Holloway, you're going Latrell Wrightsell. You're trying to get downhill and throw a lob to Aiden Sherrill and Charles Bediako. Like, Amari Allen's not getting plays drawn up. Hey, let's get Amari Allen a 3-point shot. Let's make sure Amari Allen can get an offensive rebound putback for 2. But he's still out there playing the exact same role that Grant Hill was for that team and filling it up at a higher rate, rebounding at a higher rate, assisting at a higher rate.
I have to watch more 1991 Duke film, which I might just go and do now to further debunk this, but I believe that Duke was running sets through Grant Hill from the beginning. I mean, I think that the level to which,
so they're running
Kansas
sets for
in the
Grant Hill,
national
and Amari
championship.
Allen is still out producing him.
It's a different game, man. It is a different sport. It's a different system. I think that Grant Hill also, I mean, Allen picks up big matchups. Grant Hill is shutting down superstars from day one. Michigan, you beat the Fab Five in the national championship. Grant Hill's guarding any one of those guys and shutting them down. I was curious.
Who's Alabama's best defender?
Very well could be Amari Allen. Just because you're the best on this Alabama team does not mean you get the right to be compared to the best on one of the best basketball teams ever. I think you're underestimating. I think you're
getting way further ahead of his freshman year in your mind. You're talking about, he was this in the NBA, he was that in the NBA. You're just getting way ahead of his freshman year.
The freshman year, Grant Hill could have done everything that senior year Grant Hill did. That is the take that I have on this.
That's okay.
I think that as soon as these guys, as soon as Hurley leaves, Grant Hill becomes an All-American player. Using Grant Hill's name here and cherry picking stats from a year when he was surrounded by the best team of all time, I think just creates a Hall of Fame expectation that doesn't quite match Amari Allen's skill set.
Well, I'll agree with that. That I don't quite know that Amari Allen's going to be an NBA Hall of Famer. I'm not trying to say that. I just think that as freshmen, they look very similar to one another. That's okay.
I don't think we're going to reach any
that's
kind
okay.
of conclusion on
Let's
this.
hear what Hunter Brantley had to say.
I think Hunter had a pretty intelligent take.
I think he did as well. So Hunter Brantley joined us on the voicemail line. We've been going back and forth on this for a while. Let's hear what Hunter had to say at 205-462-7340 extension 800.
Okay, so not Grant Hill. That's a bit of a stretch, for sure. I would not compare someone to a 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, and Rookie of the Year right now. I feel like if Amari Allen stayed all 4 years at Alabama, he would not win the Rookie of the Year when he went pro in his rookie season. I also feel like he will never be a 7-time All-Star. I think he'll be lucky to make one All-Star team. And he will never win a national championship. Nah, I'm just playing. He will win a national championship. That's the only thing they'll have in common from their college careers is both will be a national champion at least one time. That's the only thing they'll have in common. Other than that, not a good comparison at all. The obvious comparison for Amari Allen is Auburn legend Chuma Okeke. It is the easiest comp in the history. It's right there in front of you. Both 6'8", both averaged around 12 points a game. Chuma didn't average as many assists, but he did average one more rebound than Amari. Both shot it similarly from three. Chuma shot it better from the field. Amari shoots it better from the free throw line. Both good wing defenders. Both can take a guy off the bounce and score. Both really good rebounders. Both really good facilitators. And I think that's the trajectory that Amari Allen will have in the NBA. Is somewhere similar to the career of Auburn legend Chuma Okeke. As bad as it sounds to compare an Alabama player to an Auburn legend, I have to give credit where credit is due. I'm sorry. I know it's unpopular. I know a lot of people won't like it, but it is the truth, and that is the best case comparison for said Amari Allen. That's all I got to say. Don't give me Grant Hill. Anyone but Grant Hill. That's not where we need to go with that. Sorry. But, hey, Chuma's good. Chuma's really good. Won SEC tournament championship, made the Final Four. Great player. Not Grant Hill.
Well, I agreed with all that until the end when he said that's the best case. Because, I do think that Amari Allen has a ceiling that could rival that and pass it. But I think it's a very spot-on comparison right now.
First-round pick, 16th overall pick.
With an injury, right? A guy who would have been even higher without getting hurt.
ACL injury in the 2019 NCAA tournament. Fell to number 16. Ended up 4 or 5 year career in the NBA. A couple years with the Magic, and then with the Lakeland Magic, the Westchester Knicks, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Cavaliers, and now he is with Real Madrid. Not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. Let's see his freshman year at Auburn. His freshman year, well, he played 2 years at Auburn. His freshman year at Auburn, 7.5 points, 5.8 rebounds, 1 assist, almost 1 steal, and almost 1 block. So Amari Allen outproducing freshman Chuma Okeke. Now, second year spot on. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block and change. He's ahead of Chuma.
Yeah. If this is the kind of conversations we're already having about draft comparisons halfway through the season, what is it going to be like in June, man? Are we just going to be running back and forth on this is who Fallon is now that he does this? It'll be some fun times.
LeBaron, oh man, LeBaron is. I don't know. I don't have an intelligent take on that.
Let's not even open that can of worms right now.
That's right. That's right.
We got enough content going.
And you got to go to class, so we got to get out of here for the day. So get on to class, get to campus. Make sure you follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez _. We appreciate Purple Turtle Roofing for sponsoring the program. Call them at 877-787-6635. for your free roof inspection today. We didn't even get into Coach Kalen DeBoer's comments on the offensive line, the coaching change, on the new defensive lineman that he's brought in. He had some interesting comments on the defensive lineman, talking about leadership and commitment to the team. So we will talk about that tomorrow as well. We'll find out really what's going on in the Alabama world today on a Thursday. We hope everybody had a great day. We appreciate everybody hanging out with all of our ramblings. Who is Amari Allen? Call us at 205-462-7340, extension 800, as we get out of here for the day. We'll talk to you again on a Friday right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com.